have something really cool for you guys to check out. It's a 1994 Lego catalog. And these were meant for mail order. You could call over the phone or send in a letter. I guess fill out your credit card information on the letter? Or no, mail in a check. Yeah, that's probably what you do. I'm trying to think of ways you get around doing things electronically back in the day, because I was also thinking that how in the world we found out about new sets, and it was from actually going into Toys R Us. Yes, they used to have such a thing as toy stores, or Kmart and Target and Walmart. Walmart wasn't so much of a thing back in the day. Kmart definitely had usually the less picked over Lego aisle, so we would always find things we were looking for there that we couldn't find elsewhere. But anyways, and so you check out a new set from that year. They would show up earlier in the year, and then each new set would have a catalog like this, and then you'd look through it and see what the new things were for the year. And then by the time my brother's and I's birthdays were in the fall, and then Christmas came right after. So by the time those things rolled around, we would have picked out all of the things that we wanted from that new year. As you can see, 1994, this catalog features the big Robo Guardian set. The arms move, and there's a magnet there, just like M-Tron. And this has a little claw piece there. We'll check that out in a minute, but not movable, but the arms are movable, and it's pretty cool looking. It was actually pretty tall. And then it also features this prop plane. Looks like it lands on water, that type of plane. And an Islander. That was kind of a new radical pieces there. And yeah, so let's dive in. They stopped doing like featuring the children pictures in the front like they were in the 80s and early 90s. And this just kind of features the Lego Maniac dude, and then all the different lines of sets you can get here. You know, space, castle, pirates, town, and something new called Belleville. And of course some other things, trains. We start out with space here. With some Ice Planet sets are still available. You can still get them. They're still in the store. And it looks like they've teamed up with Space Police there in the same picture. They're kind of talking over some things. Maybe they're talking about maybe some things that have been stolen from them or whatever. Some troublemakers, which happen to be in the next section. So kind of replacing like Blacktron, you know, those other kinds of thievery sort of themes for space. We've got Spyrius, which features some robots. You know, you can ride inside and move. Yes, the minifigure goes in the top head of that big one. This one here, the Robo Guardian. That one's cool. Had that one. Had all of these Spyrius sets. Thought they were cool as bad guy sets. And the robot. This two robots designs were pretty cool. I thought they were really good designs. This lunar launch site was, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great set. It was definitely good to have, you know, as a base for these guys. But it does have that cool base plate, which is like a moon with craters on it and stuff. Also, let's see. Also this year, we've got Space Police still. You could buy them in the store. And as you can see from this beautiful display photograph, yes, that's amazing. I showed this in one other video, which had a mini catalog in it and had this as the main display. But you can see the other big set from that year. It's this monorail transport base, and this does not have a faction name like a, you know, Spyrius or Blacktron or Space Fleet, you know, one of these types of things. It just has nothing. It's just, these are just, maybe they're miners like the other space train sets from the 80s. We don't really know much about them, but in the following year, you can see that they expanded this to be called something called Unitron, and we'll get into that in another catalog for the next year. But it's a beautiful, big, giant set. Those tracks and everything, those are very expensive. And if you still have that, hold on to all those pieces. But such a cool display. I love that. And Space Explorers there, they added to that year, adding a couple of Spirius dudes. It's kind of hard to see in this picture, but... Alright, awesome. Next, not much for Castle that year. Usually Castle was next. Just a couple of Dragon Master sets. Dragon Defender, Magic Shop. An expansion of the Medieval Knights minifigures there you could get. Yeah, we still have Dragon Masters. Wolfpack is still there as something you can purchase, but it's not in the catalog anymore. Oh, yes it is. Take that back. Definitely, it's featured in some of the Dragon Master set, of course. This is an expansion of that other photograph, kind of taking it from here, adding to the display. You got a couple of guys scared of the dragon here. And then this is kind of cool. Instead of featuring Black Knight's Castle, this is Black Knight's Castle instead of Dungeon Master's Castle now. This may be the year that it switched over. And this is cool. You've got like a waterfall with the sea serpent boat about to fall down it. I thought that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's about it for Castle that year. Next, probably the next big thing for this year was the introduction of something called Islanders into the Pirates line. And yeah, that may be controversial or politically incorrect or whatever, but it still looks really cool and was really, really fun. We had all these. We definitely had all these. We had all the pirate sets, of course, all the ships there you see. Renegade Runner, Skull's Eye Schooner. But yeah, that year, this big Islander set, that was really cool. Let's see. Yep, you can see him up there on that hillside cliff next to the sea. This is a cool display. You got a volcano in the background and this lagoon. And the pirates are looking for this treasure, but the Islanders have already laid claim to this treasure. So they're gonna have to battle it out with them and steal it. But what a cool display. Ah, it's so cool. So this Enchanted Island was huge. It had two base plates stuck together, two 32 by 32s, and this one had a little bit of a raised section here. If I can get close to it, that left part there had a raised section, which is very much like the Dark Forest Fortress, with just kind of multi-layer sort of thing. That takes over most of the set, so there's not like a ton of pieces or intricate build to the set. That temple idol statue thing is pretty cool. But yeah, they had a gator involved in their sets. That was cool. Or a crocodile. I guess it's a crocodile. I'm here in America and used to Florida south, and so I automatically think gator, but yeah, that would be a croc. Forbidden Cove is cool. Really cool design in the front. It opens up. This catamaran was neat. Sorry, these are not too easy to focus here. It was featured two canoes. They came up with this canoe piece. That was really neat. Let's see if we can find another picture of it. It's too far away. Sorry for the. Hopefully this is not too dizzy here. But yeah, that was really neat. That was probably the first thing we got from that year. But yeah, that Enchanted Island was a really big set. Not in pieces, but in the bulk of the base plates. Really cool pieces introduced there. Here we've got kind of a leftover from 93's Pirates. Sorry about that. Hopefully it'll turn out and make it dizzy. There's the trading post, of course. You could still order all that. I thought that was a cool display, just the two ships going at it with a battle there over who will lay claim to the Islanders' treasure, probably. Now we get on to town. This was pretty cool. We got a river raft, and I'm near the Appalachians, so we've seen a lot of these rafts on different rivers we have here. That was cool. Had that set. We had the marina. That was a really neat set. That was a big feature that year. And you can see it here. They got a little restaurant or whatever. That was a crazy display. What a display here. A lot of new town things introduced this year. That was probably the next biggest feature that year, and that's about it. Didn't really do much castle, like I said. That hot rod club is pretty cool. This is a cool town scene. Of course, there's that pizzeria. The infamous pizzeria. That's cool. With those, you know, round, flat disc plate pieces, which are pizzas. Yeah, it's a great town scene. I love that. It's very chaotic, though. I love that. It's not a Chinook, but it's a double, whatever helicopter that is with double blades is really cool. And there was a new airport. That looks really great. That's really nice. That reminds me of, I think it's 1990 or 91's airport. Quite a bit. And I don't think there's as good of a waiting room area for people or ticketed area. But the landing pad and the runway looks great. That all looks really good. Yeah, so those are pretty cool flight things for that year. And then this was pretty cool. More of a lifestyle sort of sets. You could still get Rocky River Retreat. And there's that pizzeria. That was cool. That's a really desirable set if you have that and have all those pizza pieces. Hang on to that. Here's a scene with a fire rescue happening. There's that 93 police station again in this scene, as it was in this scene as well. It's doubly there. And then there is, oh, that looks like a West Coast Bay Area type thing. Oh, they have an audience. And then they have a coastal patrol boat. That's pretty cool. I like how they have like a comic book sound thing happening there in the picture. Ayu, 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 ayu. That's pretty cool. And surveillance squad, remember that? I had that. That's pretty neat. They're on the scene, as you can see in this scene picture. They're on the scene trying to get everything coordinated and rescue happening. And they had a new fire station that year. That's pretty cool. And that hook and ladder, I've got that for sure. That's pretty good. That's a pretty long ladder, and it's a tiny little fire engine, but a fire truck, excuse me. But they finally got some of that right with like making it the ladder long enough. So that's sort of a key feature that year. And this like gas mask type outfit, headpiece, headgear, and torso. That's pretty cool. Have a few things from Paradisa, however you say that, I don't know. The girl stuff, we never had this stuff, but it still is pretty neat. And then something new called Belleville. Basically like Barbies, but you can stick them on Lego pieces. Didn't care for that, of course, as a kid. I'm sure that those have value though, if you still have them and hold on to them. Trains, not much happening in trains that year. That metro station is really, really neat looking. Really good design. It's a pretty design. The gas tank transport. Nothing in boats that float. They always put that as a separate section, but we would display those in our town. I don't really understand why it has its own section. They should just put that in the town pages, rather than have a sliver here. It's weird. Anyways, model team is, whew, wow, that's detailed. That's really cool. It's holding like a jet plane. That's pretty cool. Technique, not really sure how you pronounce that either. few new things a year. Don't really care for those very much, but if you're an engineer or a technical person, computer programmer, I'm sure you would love that kind of stuff. I was more into the design. So there's the Lego Maniac Club you can join. Commitment to excellence. Some statements, public statements from Lego here. I like how they're washing the Ice Planet guy with a scrub brush. I guess they're demonstrating that you can wash them in warm water and a mild dish detergent. Electric parts are not washable. Just a reminder. Alright, and then you can also restock your small pieces here. A few little sets, those are cool. Stocking stuffers. I remember that Beach Bandit thing. That's cool. They always wrapped the sail up and rolled it up in the back of that thing. I could never get it to do that as a kid though. For some reason. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully that's not too dizzying. Anyways, so yeah, you can replenish with some accessories and pieces, base plates. Of course, new space minifigures. You can replenish with accessories and weapons, castle and pirates. Still have Black Monarch's Ghost in the back you can order. That's crazy. I don't know why. I guess it's a small set that, I don't know. It still is popular. Anyways, and then finally remade Medieval Knights minifigures. A few things on the back. Shop by phone or mail order. And a few little accessory sets. So that's pretty neat. The backhoe, that's cool. I like that. And like a Bobcat landscape skid steer type, not skid steer, but a small loader. And then a few more town accessories. It's great. Well, there you have it. There's the 1994 Lego catalog. Super cool. Love that front cover. That's very striking. And just some great stuff in there.